regular leading vendor at the English Easter Yearling Sale, Arrowfield Stud, has a great reputation for, even more importantly, seeing those horses go on to Group 1 glory. But it takes enormous effort to get them to peak in the yearling sales ring as well, so their handlers need to be at the top of their game. Currently the team is led by Steve Irwin, who explains what it takes to teach these people the skills to handle some of the best young bloodstock in the world. It's a fantastic, exciting place to be, isn't it? The Riverside Complex just before the English Easter Yearling Sale. But it looks like organised chaos, doesn't it? I mean, these horses, they're primed to the minute to be sold. They are babies and they are really, you know, the wind's under their tail to a degree. But tell me what the most important thing is for you, teaching the staff to manage all this excitement.
Oh, it is. Look, the whole training starts with probably, I'd say, all this staff 12 weeks ago. A lot of them are new people that have come in for this sale. And we put, honestly, as much work into the staff as we do into the horses. A lot of them are from overseas and come in just for the preparation and for 88 days. So myself and Jacob Vitek, the yearling manager, we spend a lot of time hands-on with all the people. And it's great. It's really, I get such satisfaction out of coming down to the sales and seeing those people peak on the day as much as the yearling. So it's fantastic.
Well, I guess, you know, when we film, you know, for our yearling preview up at Arrowfield, I mean, it's so important, I guess, you have to be teaching horsemanship and calming these young animals down, and also being their boss as well and telling them what to do. But down here, I guess it's a slightly different thing. There's that, but there's also managing buyers' expectations, because the buyers only have a small amount of time to see each individual horse.
They do, and that's one thing we drill into the staff, that when we get down there, you've got one chance, one parade, and we've got to nail it. But they've also got to know, if they don't do a good parade, they've got to say to the person, would you like me to walk again? Try and stand it up again. But also, that's part of my job, Kerry, Jess and Sal, is we also watch the parades, and we know if it hasn't been a great parade, we'll step in and say, look, we'll show that horse again, or we'll ask the buyer if they're happy with that. But yeah, it is about getting it 100% perfect each time. Could I get Shani Rose for Vinery Stud, please?
You have to be a quick thinker, don't you? I mean, these animals can react so quickly, number one. But also, when a buyer says, can you do X, Y, Z, you have to jump, don't you?
You do. You've got to be as quick as you can. And it does get very hard with large drafts like we've got at Arrowfield. We've got 52 horses here. And it's funny because it's like fishing. Someone sees a person catch a fish and all of a sudden everyone goes to that one spot. And when we get busy, a lot of time everyone comes over, and you've got to ask them to go have a coffee or a drink, and why we're trying to manage it. And I've been on the other side of buyer as well with weanlings, and it does get a bit frustrating as you want to get the horses out and see them, and if it gets a bit slow, it's hard, but we do our best, and a lot of the buyers understand that. But the main thing is trying to show the horses the best we can.
Coming in. So how long do you spend I mean, even the thing like, you know, when they're coming in with the horse and out with the horse, it's sort of coming in, coming out, you know, just so that no one gets run over by a horse about to come out when they're just idly sort of walking past. How much time do you spend? I mean, do you have a list of all those things, or how much time do you spend on the actual, you know, sort of the routine of what has to happen?
Every day. We practice when we pull the horses out first thing in the morning. We bring them out, we teach them to stand. On the way out to the paddocks walking, it's perfect parade practice, I always say. So we practice all the time walking in and out to the paddocks. We come back in, we go around the parade ring. Every chance we get is always trying to do it perfect. But it is hard, and some days you get too busy, you can't do it. But it's a big effort, and so all the guys do try and do the best they can and always get it right.
And tell me about, you know, Jacob Vitek. This is part of mentoring some of these younger staff members that you have, the handlers, from the Czech Republic. And you know, his father and grandfather, I understand, were horse trainers. So, you know, there's a little bit of a background there for him. But I guess, again, it's a foreign thing coming to a sales ground like this.
Yeah, it is. And Jacob's been at Arrowfield now, I think, nearly 5 years, and he's fantastic, and we actually complement each other really good. He's a lot more calm and relaxed, and sometimes he's got more patience with some of the staff and horses than me, where I'm sort of like the master chief, I suppose, keep everything tracking on, and then he'll go and do certain jobs with certain staff and horses, and he's fantastic. He's a great horseman. I call him my little Monty Roberts, and no, we work great together, and he's really stepped up, and he's doing a great job as a yearling manager, and like I said, he's learns a lot off me, but I've learned a lot off him, and I've been around a long time, and you never stop learning.
Yeah, and I guess that's the key, isn't it? Keeping the good staff, because they're so hard to find, and you really have to make it an enjoyable workplace too, don't you? Especially with the young today.
You do, and that's the thing. We try and make it fun, but also they know there's a serious side to it. But I think that also comes back to leadership. You've got to, I'm prepared to do anything that the guys have got to do, whether it's mucking out the boxes or even cleaning the staff toilets. I don't care if I've got to do it at a show. So when I ask someone to do something, they've got to do it, but they know everyone's prepared to do the same thing, and whether it's leading a yearling through the ring or mucking out a box, everyone gets a fair shot of it. But sometimes you do have some people who just are naturally better at leading horses than others, and so those people do a lot more at the sales, but the other people are still as important as the person leading the horse.
And I guess part of that fun is seeing themselves, and when they're looking after these horses, on what you've been doing on Twitter and social media, barn talk.
Paul said to me the other week, with do something on social media, get it going on Twitter and throw a few tweets up. So it's probably about 120 tweets now.
Just a few.
But the staff do really enjoy it. But what I've been trying to do is show the humorous side, but also the serious side of a good horse from a horseman's point of view. I'll point out the good parts of a horse, walking out in a paddock, but also show parts of what the staff do. And we've got a couple of people that are I put on there a little bit more. We've got a Japanese young man called Tak, who's absolutely hilarious, and he struggles a bit with the English, but he's got a little bit of a cult following at the moment, so it's great. But I think people enjoy it. We've had people looking at horses come around and say, I've seen that one gallop and now I want to watch it walk, and so there's a lot more people looking at it than I thought, actually.
Spendthrift and Lloyd Kennewell, 1,700,000. Thank you, gentlemen. You bought a magnificent colt.
The investment all your staff have in these horses. I mean, I know, just from personal experience and watching people over the years too, that they will watch these horses every step of the way in their career.
I get John over to have a pep talk to everyone, and we sit down, and it's like there's been 30 years of breeding put into a lot of these horses when you look back generation after generation. And 3 years ago, they put a big investment in of doing all the matings. And the staff understand that, so they really do take pride in it. So coming down here to the sales, they fall in love with the horses, then they go on and watch them. And I had a video yesterday of the guys cheering home one of the done deal colts in the size produce, and they nearly jumped through the TV. They absolutely love it. So.
I mean, some of the work can be humdrum and routine and it's like any work, I guess, but you still have the great passion for it, don't you?
Oh, you do. And look, I'd been out of the industry for basically 5 years, and John gave me a call and says, I need you to come back, and I came back because, one, I love looking at the size of the numbers we've got to do and the quality of horses, and it's a challenge. And that's the biggest thing about this job. It is a big challenge, but it's very rewarding, and the effort everyone's put into the horses, how they look here, I'm sure in 3 or 4 years' time we'll all look back and go, you beauty, there's some fantastic horses coming out.